By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to stop your brain from accumulating irreversible sleep damage, even if you think you're already getting enough sleep every night. Here's the thing nobody is telling you. You went to bed last night. You woke up this morning. Maybe you even slept a full 8 hours. And yet, you're exhausted. Your eyes are heavy. Your focus is gone before 10 a.m. You reach for coffee like it's oxygen. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you tell yourself, I'll catch up on sleep this weekend. Stop. That is the most dangerous lie in modern health, and science just proved it. In 2021, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania published findings that stopped the sleep science community cold. When subjects were chronically sleep-restricted, even mildly, even for just 2 weeks, their cognitive performance tanked. And here is the part that should terrify you. When they were given full recovery sleep, their performance never returned to baseline. Never. Not after one night. Not after a week. The damage was measurable. It was real. And most people watching this right now are already living inside that damage without knowing it. This isn't a scare tactic. This is your body. This is your brain. And this is the moment you find out the truth. You might be thinking, okay, but that's extreme cases, right? That's shift workers, new parents, people pulling all-nighters. Not you. You get to bed at a reasonable hour. You sleep through the night mostly. You function. But here's what the data actually says. The CDC reported in 2020 that 1 in 3 American adults are chronically sleep-deprived, defined as consistently getting less than 7 hours per night. And when researchers at Harvard Medical School tracked over 70,000 subjects across 6 years, they found that even people sleeping 6 to 7 hours, people who felt fine, showed measurable cognitive decline, elevated cortisol, and accelerated cellular aging compared to those sleeping a full, quality 8 hours. The key word there is quality, not duration. Quality. Because here's what most people don't understand. You can spend 8 hours in bed and accumulate almost zero restorative sleep. You can lie unconscious for 8 hours and wake up with your sleep debt growing. That is the trap. That is what's happening to millions of people right now, including, very possibly, you. And the worst part? Sleep debt doesn't announce itself loudly. It whispers. It steals from you slowly. It takes your sharpness, your patience, your metabolism, your immune response, piece by piece, until one day you just feel like a dimmer version of yourself, and you can't remember when that started. Warning number 1. Sleeping in on weekends is not saving you. It is masking the problem while the damage continues underneath. This is called social jet lag, a term coined by chronobiologist Till Roeneberg at Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich. When you sleep at inconsistent times, late nights during the week, long sleep on weekends, your circadian rhythm fractures. And a fractured circadian rhythm means your brain never properly enters the deep, slow-wave sleep stages where actual cellular repair happens. Think of sleep like a manufacturing line inside a factory. Deep sleep is where your brain runs its cleaning cycle. The glymphatic system literally flushes toxic waste proteins, including beta-amyloid, the same protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. But the glymphatic system only activates fully during consistent. Warning number 2. Your brain is lying to you about how impaired you actually are. This is the cruelest part of sleep deprivation, and the most dangerous. In a landmark study published in the journal Sleep in 2003, psychologist Hans van Dongen at the University of Pennsylvania put participants on 6 hours of sleep per night for 14 days. Their performance on cognitive tests declined steadily, to the point where by day 10 they were as impaired as someone who had been awake for 24 hours straight. But here is what stunned researchers. When participants were asked to rate their own sleepiness, they gave themselves nearly normal scores. They thought they were fine. They adapted to their own impairment. They normalized it. Their brain literally lost the ability to accurately assess its own degradation. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever looked back at a period of your life, a stressful season, a busy quarter, and thought, I don't know how I functioned back then? That's not strength. That was your brain operating in the dark and telling you the lights were on. Right now, if you are chronically underslept, you are making worse decisions than you think. Your emotional regulation is weaker than you believe. Your reaction times, your memory consolidation, your ability to learn, all measurably impaired. And you probably don't feel it, because your brain adapted. And adaptation in this case is not a superpower, it is a warning sign. Warning number 3. Your body is keeping a biological ledger, and the interest is compounding. Sleep is not passive. It is the most active maintenance state your body enters every single day. During deep sleep, your pituitary gland releases the majority of your daily human growth hormone, the compound responsible for muscle repair, fat metabolism, immune function, and tissue regeneration. When sleep is cut short or fragmented, that release gets interrupted. 1 or 2 nights, your body compensates. But months or years of disrupted sleep, your HGH output drops chronically. Your cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated. And elevated cortisol does something specific and measurable. It accelerates the shortening of telomeres. Telomeres are the protective caps on the ends of your DNA strands. Shorter telomeres equal faster biological aging. Researchers at the So why does this keep happening? Why do smart, health-conscious people fall into these traps over and over? 3 reasons. First, modern culture rewards exhaustion. There is a badge of honor attached to being busy, to grinding, to powering through on 5 hours. You have probably heard someone brag about how little they sleep. Elon Musk famously claimed to sleep 6 hours. Gary Vaynerchuk built a personal brand partly around relentless hustle. The message absorbed is, sleep is for the weak. The reality? Matthew Walker, neuroscientist and author of Why We Sleep, reviewed the research on high-performing executives and found that chronic sleep deprivation was one of the most consistent predictors of poor decision-making at the leadership level. The bravado is the symptom, not the strategy. Second, the symptoms are invisible until they're not. You don't feel a telomere shorten. You don't feel beta-amyloid accumulating. You just feel a little foggy, a little slower, a little more irritable. And you attribute it to stress, age, diet, anything but sleep. Third, the fixes feel too simple. People want a complex solution. They buy supplements, they optimize their diet, they try meditation apps. But if the foundation, the sleep itself, is broken, everything built on top of it is unstable. You cannot biohack your way out of biological debt with willpower and coffee. The body has rules, and the rules are not negotiating. So what do you actually do about this? If the damage is real, if catch-up sleep doesn't work, and if your brain can't accurately measure its own impairment, what is the actual path forward? The answer is, you stop managing sleep debt, and you start preventing it from accumulating faster. You cannot erase the past, but you can protect every night going forward with absolute precision. Step 1. Anchor your wake time. Pick a time. Same time every day, including weekends. This single habit has more documented impact on circadian stability than any other sleep intervention. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital found that students with irregular sleep schedules had GPAs nearly a full point lower than those with consistent timing, regardless of total sleep hours. Consistency of timing is the foundation. Step 2. Protect your sleep architecture. Deep sleep happens in the first half of your night. REM, the memory consolidation and emotional regulation phase, concentrates in the second half. Alcohol destroys REM. Blue light before bed suppresses melatonin by up to 50% according to Harvard research. Phone out of the bedroom. Temperature down to 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The clinically documented optimal range for sleep onset. Step 3, and this is where a lot of people are finding real traction right now, optimize your sleep quality per night using clinically studied nutritional support, specifically magnesium glycinate. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the regulation of GABA receptors, which are the primary inhibitory neurotransmitters responsible for calming the nervous system into sleep. A 2017 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation significantly improved sleep quality, sleep onset time, and early morning awakening in adults with insomnia. The glycinate form specifically is chelated for superior bioavailability and is the gentlest on digestion. The reason this matters in the context of sleep debt is direct. If you can meaningfully improve the quality of each night's sleep, getting more time in deep slow wave and REM phases per hour of sleep, you slow the rate at which debt accumulates. You can't repay the past, but you can make every future night count for more. Many people find 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed to be a sustainable part of their wind-down protocol. As always, check with your doctor before starting any new supplement, but the research behind this specific compound is some of the most robust in sleep nutrition science. The link for what we recommend is in the description below. Step 4. Treat your pre-sleep window like a performance ritual, not an afterthought. The 60 minutes before bed determines the quality of everything that follows. No heavy meals within 3 hours, light dimmed, temperature dropped, mind offloaded, journaling, planning tomorrow on paper, whatever gets the cognitive noise out of your head and onto a page. Your nervous system needs a runway to land. Give it one. Here is the truth you came here for. You cannot go back and sleep the hours you've lost. The University of Pennsylvania data is clear. The Harvard telomere research is clear. The cognitive impairment studies are clear. The debt is real and portions of it are permanent. But you are not powerless from this moment forward. Every night from tonight is a night where you choose to either deepen the debt or slow its accumulation. You now know that catch-up sleep is a myth. You know that your brain cannot accurately measure its own impairment. You know that the biological cost is being recorded in your cells right now. And you know the specific research-backed steps to make every future night as restorative as possible. Consistent wake times, protected sleep architecture, and nutritional support with clinically studied compounds like magnesium glycinate. The question was never whether sleep debt was real. The question is what you do now that you know. If this video changed the way you think about sleep, share it. Someone you know is walking around with unrecognized debt, and they don't even feel it yet. Subscribe if you want the science delivered without the fluff. And if you want to go deeper on sleep architecture optimization, the next video is right there. Watch it. Your future performance depends on what you do with the next 8 hours. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing constitutes professional advice of any kind.